So it's been almost a year with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and honestly, this is the first time in a long time that an iPhone has made me excited to use it again. But at the same time, it's also left me disappointed in a lot of ways. So today I want to look back at my last 11 months with this phone and how it's held up day to day, what it's been like running the brand new iOS 26 public beta, and share both my biggest surprise and my biggest disappointment with the 16 Pro Max. When it comes to how my iPhone has held up, the first thing that we need to talk about is battery life. Right now, my battery health is sitting at 96% with 297 cycles. That's the full number of charges it's gone through. And honestly, that's about as good as it gets if you're someone who doesn't baby their iPhone. I just sort of charge it and use mine however I want. I do have friends actually who are really strict about charging only between like 20 and 80%, and sure enough, their phone is actually still at 100% battery health. But personally, I don't live like that. Day to day though, it has been a worry-free experience regardless. I don't think about my battery dying or needing to stay near a charger to get through the day. It lasts me all day, like easily. Often into the next morning actually, because I actually forget to charge my phone a lot, and it's able to make it even halfway through the second day, which is pretty impressive. Then there's all the other stuff that's just so positive, it makes using this iPhone effortless at times. Like, for example, the speakers on here are incredible. Honestly, the best I've heard on any phone, and it makes this my go-to device for watching content. Ecosystem integration with my Apple Watch, my MacBook, and AirPods are just fantastic. The 120 Hz ProMotion display still feels buttery smooth as well. And of course, MagSafe, something Android phones still don't have natively, continues to be a game changer for charging and just everyday utility with this device. As for the body, I've gone case on and case off with this phone, and the titanium rails and back aluminum plates still look brand new. I'm a huge fan generally with how this iPhone looks and feels in the hand. It honestly just feels like jewelry in some ways, and I have zero regrets going with the larger Pro Max this year. The only exception though is the display. So the actual display itself is covered with lots of micro scratches, which is normal, I guess, but if you care about reselling or keeping your phone in pristine condition, I still recommend some kind of glass screen protector here. One minor nitpick though, my top volume button is not as clicky like as my bottom one. It almost feels like a little bit stuck, but that's just me, and I'm just, I'm being a little bit picky here. But performance-wise, everything else has been solid overall. Apps open quickly, gaming is as good as it gets on a phone these days, but here's my biggest frustration so far, and that is heat. The 16 Pro Max just gets way too hot whenever I do anything beyond casual use. Editing ProRAW photos in Lightroom, for example, makes it heat up immediately, the screen dims, and then I can't even see it properly outside anymore. I actually have to wait to go inside to get back indoors to finish what I was doing outside. It's not the end of the world, and it's not just an iPhone problem, like this happens on Android too, but it stands out if you do anything even remotely demanding on your device. And speaking of the little things that can ruin your experience, let's talk about sleep. For me, the biggest issue is noise I can't control. So for me, it's my cats meowing in the middle of the night. For you, it might be traffic, a loud appliance, or a partner who snores. To help solve those problems, I've been using the soundcore Sleep A30 with my iPhone, which soundcore has sent over and are the official partner of today's video. They're the world's first active noise canceling sleep earbuds, and the ANC on these is seriously impressive. It blocks out background sounds so you can actually stay asleep. And if you have a partner or a roommate that snores, like get this, they have a 3-stage snore masking system. So how it works is the charging case listens for these snoring sounds in real time, and the earbuds are able to play a custom masking audio to match to help you stay asleep. The soundcore Sleep A30 also comes with a detachable ear tips and ear wings, and optional foam ear tips that add even more noise isolation on top of the standard silicone tips, so you can mix and match for a more personalized fit and experience. I love to pair these with my meditation app of choice, Balance, to sort of quiet my running, busy mind at night before bed. But Soundcore also has an app that has AI brainwave audio that you can use for binaural beats. And it's not just for sleep, it's also for meditation, focus, and other scenarios. These actually deliver different frequencies to each ear, helping sync your brainwaves with calming patterns to promote relaxation and restful sleep. And guys, like, as a side sleeper, and I think you can probably relate to this, I've always found earbuds uncomfortable at night because of all the pressure you feel in your ear. But these are much thinner than the last generation, and these are genuinely comfortable to wear all night as they just sit so flush in your ear and you basically feel no pressure when you're laying on them. On top of that, the case has a grippy bottom so it stays put on my nightstand, and this minty green color looks fantastic. If you're somebody that is after consistent, quiet sleep, be sure to check out the Soundcore Sleep A30 at the top of the description down below today. Another thing that I'm actually super excited to talk about today is my experience with iOS 26. Honestly, like, it's completely revived my love for the iPhone again. It has me excited about what Apple is doing. First up, the new liquid glass design is the real frickin' deal. Everything now has this reflective glass look that shifts dynamically and makes the phone just feel more alive. You'll see it all over the place in things like Safari, Control Center, the lock screen with new customization options. We've also got big updates to the phone app, like iPhones can finally screen unknown calls with Siri, asking the caller to state their name and reason for calling, and you can see it in real time on your display before deciding whether to answer the phone. There's also Hold Assist, where your phone waits on hold for you and rings you back when a live agent actually picks up the phone. Stuff Android users have had for years, like I completely acknowledge that, but is definitely welcomed here and for people who use iPhones. Photos app has been cleaned up too, so now photos are on the one side and collections are on the other, so it's more organized and just way less confusing than before. But the standout feature is spatial scenes. Just tap in the corner of a photo and the AI creates a 3D depth effect that actually looks really good in person. Like, this is not gimmicky at all in my opinion. I even set one of mine up as a lock screen with this effect. Like, it's just that cool. Quick fun fact though, the new Alt 1 reflection ringtone is kind of a low-key banger. Like, Apple did not need to go that hard with it, but they did, and I made it my main one. Give it a listen. Also within this update, Apple is finally delivering Apple Intelligence features that I actually care about and want to use. Visual intelligence now kicks in when you take a screenshot, and from there you can instantly ask ChatGPT about what's on your screen without needing to copy and paste it into the app like before. You can also search images on Google, interact with text, and it even quickly identifies plants and animals automatically. Even better though is that if you screenshot something that has details like an event title, date, time, like all that stuff, a location, it'll pre-fill all of that for you in the calendar and ask if you want to add it. Like, that's genius. Like, that's super useful. Though I think right now it's still locked to Apple Calendar. So I hope that Apple actually extends this for us to push this info and automatic calendar creation thing into other calendar apps like Google Calendar, Fantastical, things like that. So that's my quick rundown of the iOS 26 updates that really stood out and made my 16 Pro Max just feel a lot better. I think Apple actually just succeeded pretty well here. Like, they doubled down on software this time that actually makes iPhones exciting again. And the reason why I'm saying that, and it's kind of going to loop into what I'm about to talk about, is that when it comes to my biggest surprises and disappointments this year with this phone, the negative that I feel the most is my letdown with Apple Intelligence. Apple really like really overpromised here. We all expected big things with this iPhone generation. It took months for small sets of Apple Intelligence features to even roll out, and then once they did, they weren't really that useful. Like, I never cared about Genmoji or Image Playground. They all just felt like gimmicks that I would never use. But the biggest miss, though, is Siri. Like, Apple pitched this vision of a truly personal assistant, one that knows everything about you across all your apps. So you can ask it basically anything, and it's just gonna work and give you a pretty good answer. Like, let's say that I said to Siri, hey, like, my wife told me about an event 3 months ago and something about dogs or cats. Do you remember what she said? And Siri instantly would pull up that right message and give me actionable prompts based on that question from the past. That was the kind of level of personalized assistance that Apple is advertising, and if my memory actually serves me correct, they actually made commercials with this exact thing happening. But here we are. It's still not here yet. Like, they are actually still working on it, and we don't really know when it's coming, but it's coming soon. It's one of those rare times that Apple actually made a promise and then they didn't deliver. Like, that is the most un-Apple-like thing ever. I think that's why my disappointment is so big here, is that I'm not used to Apple making big claims and then just not delivering. Like, it's weird times for sure. Okay, but on a more positive note now, the biggest surprise from my experience with this phone is that about just how much I still love shooting 48 megapixel Pro RAW photos on this device. The camera system is just so versatile, guys. Like, I've gotten so comfortable using the iPhone as my main camera. Like, I am excited to take pictures with this thing. Like, the amount of detail you get from the Pro RAW files is just incredible. Every single time I take a shot, I get super excited to just jump into Lightroom and see how I can edit the photo and make it look the way that I want it to, and it's never disappointed me. Like, honestly, I've never loved any smartphone camera more than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's more than any Android phone I've ever tried. It's more than any past iPhone I've ever used. Like, there's shots you get on here, like, I'm gonna keep repeating myself, with the right edits and the right lighting and just, you know, the right composure, can legitimately rival big professional cameras. Like, it's seriously impressive. Okay, so overall, the last 11 months with the iPhone 16 Pro Max has sort of reminded me why I love tech to begin with. Like, some days it's been the most exciting thing I've ever owned, and then other days it's like left me frustrated with the overheating or the Apple Intelligence letdowns, but that's just the reality of living with a device every single day. Like, it's never going to be perfect. But for me though, the highs definitely outweigh the lows, and I would say the fact that I'm genuinely still excited to this day to pick up the phone and use it, basically a whole 11 months later, is kind of a big deal. Like, that shouldn't be something that you just write off. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're brand new to my channel. Comment hashtag I made it if you did finish this video, and I'll talk to all of you guys in the next one. Peace.